everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Wristlocks and Long Talks podcast. My name is Jamie, and today I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by the Vigilante, by this savior of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been joined by the one and the only Bentley. Yay!
Hello.
Oh.
I'm a bit strong, saviour, but
Well, no, you are, because let's be fair, at Future Shock last week, or my dates are wrong, so if I'm well out, just tell me. You went to Future Shock, obviously, and you defeated Conor Patrick Riley, who, let's be fair, probably one of the biggest villains at Future Shock. So
I did. That was That was 3 weeks ago actually. Well, probably it was on the 10th of May.
Oh dear God, yeah, that is a while ago. See, I told you my dates are not good.
But from a personal perspective, that was it was a goal that I'd had for a long time, just in wrestling in general. Probably post COVID, because I trained a lot more after COVID. Started getting a lot more into it. Started doing more shows, and it was kind of I don't know, mainly because I trained there for so long. I think I just wanted that goal of being on a show like Future Shock.
Yeah.
Because I felt like you have essentially say certain levels of shows, and I thought that was like a peak, a best. I wouldn't say it's words struggle to say without diminishing what shows I'm on.
No, I get what you mean. It's hard to differentiate between it without sounding like you're dragging one down and pulling.
Yeah, because obviously I appreciate every single show I wrestle on, and so it's I think just more getting on more shows in general, because I've had my career's been very small, not like small compared to a lot of people. I've been on probably just specific promotions rather than a variety of promotions.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing and a curse, because obviously the people that get to invest in you, and you get I have had a good following at the places I've wrestled, but then it's translating that there's somewhere new.
Yeah.
But Future was good. I was surprised that I was beaten Conor Patrick Riley. I don't know how kayfabe we're going on these chats, but
up to you, completely up to you, Milo.
surprised to get the win against Conor when I got told, especially coming in new, and especially a former champ and sort of very recent former champ and one of the top heels. But he was brilliant to work with, fantastic. It was like as soon as he went out, and he was whilst I was back waiting for me to go out, and he was already getting booed, it kind of put my mind at ease a bit, because I was quite nervous.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this isn't going to be it's not going to be as scary as I think it's going to be. It was the best production entrance I've ever had, because obviously it was at the MMU, and they had
it's a good setup at the
MMU. They had all the lighting and the big screen, and I've got a new entrance video now anyway, so we because I usually come out and do my kneel, which I've been toying with different ideas with, but we walked through some stuff at the start, because they thought, let's get a spotlight on you, which is kind of what I've always wanted, what I've always envisaged that entrance as, to have darkness and then a spotlight as I come up. So we did the kind of Jericho face away from the crowd in the darkness, and then do a superhero head turn. Unfortunately, a bit Joe Hendry, which I'm not.
I was just about to say, was it more Joe Hendry than superhero?
Yeah, but then it's head turn straight into the kneel, and then the spotlight on. So that was cool. That was the most nerve-wracking part of the whole thing, because obviously, first ever time I'd done that entrance anywhere.
Yeah.
It was completely new, and I was facing away from the crowd and stood there just waiting to turn, and that 10 seconds felt like an eternity. It took me. I settled down into the match after we did the first little bit, and then felt all more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to hate me for saying it, because obviously he is an ass, but Conor is probably one of the nicest people. He's going to definitely hate me for saying it, but he's one of the nicest people outside of the ring. He's got time for everybody. He always tries, to help everybody. And from Future Shock shows I've been to, when I see what goes on backstage and everything, he's just so lovely. And for the fact that he made you feel as comfortable as you did, it is a credit to him that he was able to do that for you.
I think he had real fun when I think when he realised that I knew what I was doing, kind of
Mm.
when we were planning, he got really into the planning as well,
Yeah,
and he enjoyed it.
yeah, just kicking down the fucking door of kayfabe now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, do people come on these podcasts and actually in character? I don't know.
It depends. I always say to whoever comes on, you know, if you want to be in character, if you want to stay in gimmick for the entire time, that's absolutely fine. If you don't, you don't, not a problem. I mean, I remember when I spoke to Isaac North, could you imagine Isaac, poor man, trying to stay in character the entire time? It just wouldn't have gone well. Like,
But my character's just me anyway. It's just I don't like injustice. Not like people being like idiots. So
yeah, and unfortunately, in professional wrestling, there is quite
yeah,
a few people like that. So you know, you're a very busy man.
yeah. Well, I wish I was busier. I'll put it that way.
Well, like I know you've kept obviously your circle small of you know places you have been. Like you said, it gets you more of a following, and you know people invest in you more. But what I want to know is like, are you now going to start branching further out? Are you going to try and go further afield and basically save
It's
professional
just
wrestling?
all. Well, no, it's one of those. It's I'm trying to go further afield. It's how you do it in terms
Yeah,
of how you get on those shows. Like I've messaged some companies. Some companies have replied. Some companies haven't.
yeah.
But that's just the standard in any walk of life when you're trying to get into new places. Or um, I ended up on a title show last weekend, a couple of weeks ago, in the Rumble.
Oh yes, yes,
So
yes.
I went and just helped out. So then there was a spare spot in the Rumble. But it's probably doing more stuff like that, which
Yeah,
seemed it because I've never actually fully done that. I'll be honest, I've never gone and done the helping out and done the the paying your dues as it's such. Because sometimes, honestly, I don't fully agree with it,
mm,
but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But if that's the way you get on shows, that's probably what I'm going to have to do more stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to branch out more, but it is difficult. I think because there's so many male wrestlers as well. There's so
yeah,
many people at the moment, and there's a lot of people already got the cards. Not
yeah,
like people already got. Oh, we've got these people we use, so it's either you need to be something extra special to fit into that, or just potentially just there on the day and they need someone to fill in, and then they'll use you again.
yeah. So, how did you find it then at Tidal? Because obviously they were in a completely new venue. It was a completely new setup for them. How did you know did you enjoy the experience? Was it you know
Yeah,
what
it's
you
the venue's very
expected?
nice. It's quite a big, open, nice looking room. Nice big like stage with like a big curtain and like nice spacious changing room. Like I enjoy myself. My rumble spot was nice and easy. Um, so yeah, and Taj owners, she was that's the first time I met her. She was nice. But yeah, I didn't have don't have a bad way to say about it. It was an enjoyable afternoon.
That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it because Tidal is one of those shows that you know anything. I know anything can happen in wrestling anyway, but it is one of them
Yeah,
shows where you know you go, you're expecting one thing, and your mindset on it can be completely blown away because something absolutely amazing happens. And obviously, you had like the likes of Mark Haskins was there, wasn't he,
yeah.
on that show? How was that for you? Obviously, you know he is a bigger name in British wrestling. How was that experience?
Well, it's going to sound really bad, but I don't get like starstruck or
Yeah.
yeah, what the word is like. So
Well, that's a good thing though.
yeah, it doesn't phase me that somebody's there
Yeah.
of a bigger level. Like,
Mm.
and generally as well, I don't want to bother them either. I don't want to really go. So it's probably better to go and pick the brains and things like that. I did. There's a bit where I was sat in the change room and somebody else was picking his brains, and I kind of listened, but I wasn't
Yeah.
obviously listening. If you know what I mean, because it was just an open conversation. But yeah, I try because I know for myself. I'm not saying I'm anything in wrestling, but like I don't, especially on a show, especially before a match, I don't particularly want to have long conversations
Yeah.
because I'm going through my match in my head about 1,000 times. So I know. I mean, I know people at that level probably just doing the sleep anyway. But yeah, I don't like bothering people, and so I don't really have any a proper actual conversation with him. Just the
Yeah.
usual hi. Um, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, because just my personality is not like that. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. Like you've seen what I'm like at shows. I will talk to anybody and
Yeah,
everybody, and I will annoy the shit out of anybody and everybody. So
yeah.
whereas you're the nice, reserved, quiet person, and I'm just like, "Hi, how are you doing?"
But I wouldn't say, but then I wouldn't say I'm quiet either though, because I will speak to everyone,
Yeah,
but not long. I don't know, not in depth.
you're not a
Essentially,
noisy. You're not a noisy twat bag like I am.
like more informational, I would say. Oh,
It's fine. I told you you can be mean to me. It's fine. I'm mean to myself on this
that's all
podcast.
right. Like I do speak to everyone because I'm
Yeah,
one of those who still go around and say hi to everybody when I have a show.
yeah,
It's because I'm still of that hold. I was taught that, but I realize now you don't have to do that, but I kind of just do. Um, so yeah, I will speak to everyone,
yeah,
but obviously everyone stays closer to who they're more friends with as well, don't they? So
yeah. That is very true. Even in wrestling, there's still like specific
yeah,
little like what's the word clips, for want of a
uh,
better word.
yeah, but then also you'll find before shows everyone's just planning the matches in those groups as well.
Yeah, yeah. I would say the amount of match planning I've overheard, and I've just gone, that sounds good. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna go over there now.
Yeah.
May as
But
well be
then yeah,
talking in code when I'm about.
to certain people, if I'm wrestling a certain person, I'm like, I need longer to plan. I'm like, I need like for this Friday, I've got Phil Michael in the opener at Bolton, and I know Phil's not going to get there on time because he has to wait for his partner to finish work before she drives him. Um, so yeah, I know me and Phil are going to have fun, but I just know I'll be panicking a little just because I know Phil. And
Yeah, it's
then
like you're gonna be there thinking it all in your head, and she's like, "Come on, Phil." Like,
yeah, and then I'm in the Rumble later on, so I'll be fun.
pulling double duty, are you?
I think everybody on the show is, but
Yeah,
I'm well. To be fair, this podcast will come out after the show,
it will.
so I'm going to be first in the Rumble, and I'm going to last quite a while. So I've got a long night.
Oh, sounds fun.
So I've got Phil, which is going to tie me out, and then that.
So basically, don't talk to you on Saturday then, because you're going to be tired.
Just be dead. It's like, oh, broken.
Do you know, I'm gonna do everything I'm in my power now to message you like every 20 minutes on Saturday just to annoy the living shit out of you.
It's just like, I won't reply. I won't even read it.
I was like, you're just gonna
Um,
block me out, and then be
yeah,
like, don't even bother coming to Salford.
just feel like, oh, it's from this because I have to remember all stuff with Phil, and then I'll come with the back, and then I'm not complaining. The like, obviously a Rumble, like, because I'm first
Mm.
and I'm in there for quite a while, then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, run and do this, run and do that, run and this." And I'm like, oh, the memory.
I was gonna say, how bad is that then? Obviously, from a wrestler perspective, having to obviously plan out a match initially, and then knowing that you're going to be in a completely different match or segment or whatever, and having to plan around, especially in a rumble, having to plan around so many people. Like, how do you manage to juggle all that?
Uh, with Rumbles, I tend not to plan a lot anyway. I will, if someone's coming in and they want to do a very specific thing, I'll either be like, "Why don't you do it with so and so?" Or I'll be like, "If you like." Generally, you will when someone comes in, you'll just run at them, and then you'll get hit.
Yeah,
Um, so they're a bit easier, but then they do need a bit more structure sometimes, depending on where you are.
yeah,
Um, so especially well, because I'm 1 and 2, that's easy because I can remember that in whatever we're doing. It's just then when we get but then everyone else has their little cues, so they should know. And then
yeah,
it's just being aware of where people are is the main thing because you've got to do some look behind you. There's no room to anything.
yeah,
And yeah, the planning is not as heavy as you like. Especially, I think Friday I'll probably be just like, right, fine, just do what you want. I'll just run it here. Or yeah, or me and whoever's in there will take turns. So it's just very. I just got to remember very specific stuff. I think.
Yeah. See, if it were me, I would literally say, right, my plan is I'm going to sit outside. I'm going to go under the rope, sit outside, and just wait until like
Well,
number 30.
I have been known to just sit there in a rumble in the corner, in two rumbles.
Pull in an X pack. That's what you do. You just literally pull the bottom rope.
So pulling back again even more, the last Bolton rumble, Getski rolled out the ring underneath. And I got out and grabbed him by like underneath and grabbed him by the head and went, if I can't rest, you can't, and just threw him back in. Obviously not loud, so like in his ear. And then I went into side. We just rolled with each other in the corner.
You should have both just sat outside, just like we'll have a break.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So where is Bentley going to be coming up? Obviously, this podcast will be coming out on I think we worked out, didn't we, is the 11th of June. So
yeah.
on date of recording, it is like I don't even know what date it is today. What date are we on? 27th. We're on the 27th of May. So
now I speak.
Yeah. So obviously, there's no point in telling us exactly where you're going to be in the upcoming few days because the podcast will have already been and gone. Well, the event will have been and gone before the podcast comes out. So where is Bentley going to be serving up some justice after the 11th?
So I am at Filed Championship Wrestling on the 28th of June. Not 100%. I think I'm against Shading Actress. I think. That is the current plan. And then after that,
that is always subject to change. So
yeah, subject to change. After that, it is Salford on 4th of July, which we'll go on to in a minute. And then to be fair, I think I'm not 100% sure it's Future Shock, but I'm yet to know the card. I'm yet to know when I'm on it. So I'm not going to say yes, I will be there, or no, I won't be.
Just keep an eye out just in case.
Yeah, because I know I'm definitely not on. Well, to be fair, the weekend of this podcast coming out, I'm not on that Future Shock show. But from what I know, they're trying to have certain people in certain venues. So have certain people.
They're keeping you as more of a MMU.
I think so. From what
rather than the Guildhall.
So yeah, they're trying to introduce new people at different areas and test how it goes and just have a little play around, I think. So I will more than likely, as far as I know, without being presumptive, be more on the MMU shows.
Yeah. But that is a great venue, so
yeah.
Let's be fair, no issues really.
But apart from that, I actually at the moment only really work 3 or 4 promotions. So it's Bolton, Filed, Future Shock, and Salford.
So any promoters listening, and I'm looking at you, Atomic, TNT. Oh, who else can I name drop and just be like, put them on notice of the Vigilante being about? I'm going to do those 2 for now, and any others that happen to be watching this. Hell, TNA, because I will be doing a podcast with some TNA stars, which will unfortunately come out before yours.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
But yeah, if TNA are listening, hit up a Vigilante. Why not?
Yeah.
Some assholes on your programming. Why not get them sorted out?
It suits any promotion, doesn't it? Everyone's got assholes.
Exactly. That you basically picked a great gimmick to have because it's just like, let's just rid people of the assholes. Done.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you put it in a nicer way than I do, but I'm not known for,
Yeah, I think
being nice.
what I've tried to do more recently as well is try and get their character a bit more into my wrestling because before it was just wrestling. I'm trying to do more character stuff. I'm not the most charismatic of people, I'll admit that. So I'm trying to do little bits.
That's all you can do. You can always just try.
Because I've started doing like the superhero pose in my match, to like doing moves into it and just doing little bits like that to try and make it just more cartoony maybe, but more like character rather than do it on my entrance and then forget about it.
Well, I'll tell you what then, right? What I'll do, because my daughter and my son both love superheroes, like to the point they could probably act out most superhero films.
Yeah,
So what I'll do, I'll bring them both to Salford, right? And I'll just go, here you go talk to Bentley, go
yeah, give me
how
some
to be a
ideas.
superhero.
Yeah.
And there you go. You'll be so cartoony,
Yeah.
it's unreal.
But then that's the problem with that. I wear that mask on my entrance, but then if a vigilante never doesn't reveal who they are, but then like
Oh, you just don't
I
give a shit, do you?
I
You're
kind
just
of
like,
like,
here's
oh,
my
I've got it
face.
on for 5 seconds. Oh, it's me.
Yeah, yeah, but wrestling in a mask, it's not the easiest of
But
things.
it was not even wrestling; it was more the entrance. But then, yeah, I like to be able to speak on the entrance.
Mm.
So
Just wait that one of these days, right? Basically, what's happening, right, is you're gonna be like a villain on Scooby Doo, aren't you?
yeah,
It's gonna get to that point one day where somebody's gonna pull the actual mask off, and the Bentley mask is gonna come off,
yeah,
and you're gonna be somebody completely different underneath.
that's why I've not really worked heel in many places for a long time since they've been the vigilante character.
Yeah, it'd be a bit difficult to do that, wouldn't it? Really?
It'd have to be more like a Homelander kind of thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like the boys sort of believing I'm doing right when I'm not.
definitely. I think that might be how you evolve later in life.
Yeah, like taking it too far.
Oh, I can't wait to see that now. Then the evolution of Bentley thinks he's doing good is just a bell end.
Yeah,
It's a good job this is not a PG podcast, isn't it? Because I've just ruined everything in the first
I know. I'm so
15
used
minutes.
to being PG now. I think everything's family friendly for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my kids upstairs. They could probably hear me, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. I'm sure they've heard worse from me. I've noticed how like static this part of my face is. So for anybody wondering why I'm talking really weird, I had a fill in, so I'm still numb. So we'll just get that out there. It hurts. So yeah. Right. So we've talked about Bentley. We've talked
yeah,
about, where you are going to be. Do we throw the curtain back now as to Alex and owner of Salford City Wrestling?
yeah. May as well. I think people. I mean, everyone. I assume within wrestling knows that me and Alex Boylan co-own Salford. Um, not
If
sure. I think
not, surprise.
yeah, not sure. So yeah, surprise, surprise. Please don't message me all the time for a booking. Uh, Message the
Do it.
Salford
Do it.
page. If
Poke
you
it.
want to book in, message the Salford page. We will watch all your stuff. We have watched every single stuff everyone's ever sent us, and we told you whether or not we want. That we've been honest, and we've also said we'll let you know, which is more than what a lot of promotions do, is from a wrestler's point of view, because that was one of the things we wanted to
Not
do.
even from a wrestler's point of view, from my point of view as well, like as a person, A, trying to, help out at shows, and B, doing shit like this with podcasts and everything. I have had nothing but absolute courteousness from Salford City Wrestling. So you are very good.
We just try and be nice people to everyone, whether they deserve it or not. But yeah, we just want to be open and honest with people and actually let people like just, whatever I've just said, my brain.
I'm glad it's not just me whose brain
Yeah.
just dribbled out of their ear and left.
Yeah.
So we are coming up to now the fourth show.
4th of July, show 4, Rain of Fire. As time, as I can't speak now. As time of recording of this podcast, we only have 5 tickets left, which is, it still blows our mind that this, so we've sold every show out so far. Fingers crossed that this will sell out. I'm hoping we can sell 5 tickets in 40 odd days. I'm hoping.
I mean, as
Um,
soon as I saw the post that you guys put up of that we only had 5 tickets left, the first thing I did was share it, and I was like, right, I want them gone by the end of today. Like,
um, we don't. I mean, we never expected to sell out in the first year, or we never expect to sell that. Yeah, we didn't know what to expect.
yeah.
Our goal was first show if we sell 100 tickets, we'll be happy. And then that sold out 25 days in advance, and now we've got a cat.
We've got Danhausen.
Yeah. So it's still hard to kind of process as well, because I'm not very good at giving myself credit for things.
Yeah.
Because as soon as show one finished, it was like, oh, God, let's hope show 2 sells well. Like, it wasn't. I didn't sit there and appreciate the moment or anything like that, and I still kind of don't. I'm trying to learn to do that better.
Yeah.
Um, but now it's more of a. I think we feel the pressure now because we've had good reviews, we've had good ticket sales. So now it's gone from no pressure and being surprised, and to then there probably isn't pressure, but we feel like there is. Well, I
Yeah.
feel like there is.
Yeah.
Boiler probably doesn't. Boiler's a lot more relaxed about these things. But I feel like, right, well, next show's got to be as good as the last one.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like so our last show had a lot of people telling us it's our best show so far. But I think that's because we've now established characters, we've started telling stories. Everything we like to, every single thing on the card has a story of some sort. We
Yeah.
don't like having just a random match for no reason. Mainly because me and Brian are very big on logic and
Yeah.
whether things make sense. We'll be wrong. We'll obviously we'll be wrong a lot. We're not saying we're right about everything. Wrestling's very subjective. Um, so we'll question each other, which is good. So if one of us has a rubbish idea, we'll tell them to each other rather than go, oh, maybe. Like, you know what I mean? We're quite honest
Yeah.
with each other in that respect. But then we seem to agree on a lot of things, like, which is good, I'm assuming, for co-owners.
Yeah.
And everything so far has hit like we wanted it to hit. So we had Jack on the first show. So we need like Troy won the tournament, and then Jack nearly was like just taken out, and he nearly broke it up at the end. And then that was kind of the hint to what we see on the next show and then the show after that. Like, because we got the reaction we kind of wanted because Troy was still face that show. And
Yeah.
so there was kind of this, oh, we wanted Jack to win. Oh, but Troy's face, and we're still cheering when he won. So there was that kind of when he won, there was a little, I don't know, like an audience kind of, oh, we really wanted Jack to win. Oh, Troy's won. So it's okay.
Yeah, it was like a weird. Oh, my cat's just walking all over my laptop. Lovely. It was a weird kind of feeling. Obviously, having
Yeah.
obviously I've been to all the shows, but having Troy win, and the crowd, like you said, they didn't know how to react to it. It was a happy, but it was a, but Jack didn't win, and
Yeah.
Jack who want to win because Salford.
Yeah.
And then just the character of Troy and how he's now evolved has been absolutely incredible. And, that's a testament to not only him, but to yourselves as well, because, you've given him this platform to be like,
Yeah.
Go out there and be the biggest bastard humanly possible to piss all these people off in Salford.
Yeah.
And he's taken it and ran with it. And he's just
Well, I
doing
think
incredible.
we gave him a very hard task on the second show, I think, and to turn heel that quickly. And to, because obviously we had him and Jack announced, and he came out, and I don't think even before the match the fans fully still knew how to react because he wasn't full heel. He was just trying to be a bit of a dick. And then even when he won at the end, it wasn't still full heel, but it was getting there. We got the reactions it needed.
Yeah.
But then also it got distracted by the Aton stuff at the end. But then that was deliberate for the next show because you know what, Aton Jack wasn't the plan. So we were very originally either. We from the first show, Aton got a lot of heat, and
Which
especially
hurts. It hurts me because I love Aton so much, and I'm the same at any promotion I go to. If somebody I like is being booed, I'm like, stop booing. But obviously, I don't say it out loud. But yeah, same as Dave though. Dave Birch.
Yeah,
he's just. I'm still angry with him because on, I think it might have been your first show, he took the red chair from me, but he literally he punched me in the boob on that, and I still owe him a receipt for that.
Well,
I might have to get you involved in this. Get Bentley to be,
I'm busy. I've got
my savior.
deal with it, Salford. but yeah, Aton. So we've always said we'll pivot if the crowd. We're not just going to go with what we think is right,
Yeah.
because there was other plans. But we're like, you know what, we need to do something with
Mm.
that, because they hated Aton when he interfered in the main event.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we need to follow this up with something. So we worked towards that, but then that also helped us on the side do the try stuff. Um, because obviously we got Jack that win on the last show. So that's kind of him and Ayrton done for now.
Yeah.
And then Troy was like, no, it's all about me, this. And then I tried to give Troy a win against me, which I wanted to. I wanted to, like, I've wrestled Troy. Well, I've only wrestled him twice now. So I like wrestling Troy. I wanted to wrestle Troy. But also the reaction, I don't like. Me and Boylan very much. We don't want to put ourselves over on our own show either.
Yeah.
We're not off. Like, so the show before, I won the triple threat with Phil and Ayrton, but that was just to make it justifiable for me to face Troy.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like you say though, everything that has happened at a Salford show has led to something that makes sense. So
yeah,
it's not like you were just like, no, I'm having the win because I, co-own the company
yeah.
and I'm Billy Big Bollocks. You literally had thought about it and was like, well, there's no way I can like go up against the King of Salford
If
if
I've
I
got a win, yeah.
can't win. Yeah.
And
So
then
it has been thought through and it has worked really well.
yeah, and then we're also have got to invest in a lot in women's wrestling, which I don't think a tremendous amount of companies do. Um, there'll there'll be a lot of shows with just the token women's match,
Yeah.
which I don't like. Um, and we're slowly building the women's story. It's still carrying on from the first show. Obviously, you had Alfie get screwed by Lily in the first show by cheating, and then you had Lily screw Alfie with Natalie on the second show. But then you've got Harley coming into tag with her, but then Alfie still hasn't got that pin on Lily, um, because Harley pinned Natalie in the four-way, and not four-way, the tag match.
Yeah.
And then now we've announced this show Alfie against Natalie, and then Lily against Harley. So they've been every show except the first show. They've had the first half main, and then they're getting it again on this show,
Yeah.
and then the show after. Well, I don't know. No, I can't remember plans, can I? Yeah.
Don't ruin too many plans.
Yeah, I won't give away story. I'll give away. I'll just say what's happened there. Yeah. So we're building stuff with the women. Um, little hint: we're doing Take the Throne 2 in October, so you can potentially guess.
We're having a Queen of Salford.
Yeah.
Right. Before
But,
before you go anywhere, right? I am putting my name forward. I'm not going to wrestle, but I'm putting my name forward. I just want to win.
yeah. So that's a little hint to what we're slowly building to. But also, it won't be a full women's show because
Yeah.
we want to obviously we've got tries. We'll have to defend his throne as well and things like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, you don't need a full women's show though. That's the thing that I like about Salford, especially. The matches always make sense. You don't like some of those women's matches have been longer than even the men's main, and
Yeah, which is good.
it's incredible to see a company that actually cares about the women's wrestling, and it's not just we'll chuck a token match in there. Yes, it might be the only match on the card because you currently do have a small roster, but it works well, and the women give it like 110% and
Yeah.
are absolutely incredible.
And the next three shows, without you giving stuff away, is there'll be two women's matches on all three of the next shows, including the one in July, obviously, because we've announced two matches. Because the qualifiers will be the show before rather than on the show.
Yeah.
But then there'll still be an extra women's match on the Potato Prawn 2 show.
Yeah.
And then we're also actively looking for more women for next year, because we want to obviously tell different stories and bring people in and out. And because we don't like, that's another thing, we don't want those women always just facing the same people, which you also find on a lot of shows. We're actively looking further afield rather than around the Northwest area as well. Which I'll be honest is difficult because you've got to trust, you find footage or trust the opinions of people. And sometimes it's hard getting hold of them, especially when you don't know who the promotion is.
Yeah,
Because obviously still very new.
you are. But again, I mean, some of the names that you have on your roster is impressive. And, hopefully with having those people on, word of mouth will get around
Yeah.
other wrestlers and, you'll have people knocking down your door to try and get on your shows.
Yeah. And then, so what we try with the roster as well is, of course, there's a lot of people out there who are on the same shows elsewhere. But we tried at the start to be like, right, so try and Aton wrestle on Future Shock. Phil is more Bolton and Preston and those sort of places. I'm just at the time was mainly just Bolton. And then we wanted to like get people, even though everyone knows who they are. I mean, Phil's been on Future Shock as well as the weights, but like to get bizarrely, even though all these people have been first time matchups somehow. And
Yeah.
our first show had like 4 first time matchups. And we're still doing first time matchups now. Like it's bizarre because all these people are all on the same shows. A
Yeah.
lot of them. And that's another thing we wanted with the women. We wanted to, especially in the Northwest scene, we wanted to have different matches.
Mm.
Like we've got Alfie over from she's like she ends at PPW in Sheffield. And Natalie comes over from same Sheffield, like Leeds area. And then it's like we just wanted different matchups from that what everybody else has got.
Yeah.
So it seems to be working for
And
now.
it
Yeah.
definitely is because like I had never seen the Zuber weights, and rather than relying on like their name value as a team, they're not a team at Salford.
Yeah.
Far from it, they had a match at the last event, and that amazing match, you didn't have to then rely on, oh well, they're a team elsewhere, we'll just chuck them together and hope for the best. You've
Yeah.
literally created something that everyone can be themselves and they don't have to deal with the ties that they've had to other companies where they're like, oh, I've got to act a certain way because people know me from there. You're letting their creativity flourish really because you're giving them the opportunity to, like with Troy, be the biggest asshole in
Yeah.
the room, and he's doing brilliantly at it.
And we've also said to people, if you've got ideas, let us know. A lot of companies don't, well, they will and won't listen to your ideas because they know what they do. Whereas we're very much, if you don't agree or you think you should something else, let us know and we'll listen. And we'll let you know what we think, and then we can work towards something. Like we're very open to people on the card. Like so, the Zoomweight thing was actually pitched to us by Jack. We'd had the idea to do it, but we obviously hadn't fleshed it out. And then Jack sent us like a full year's worth of storylines and stuff. I was like, okay, we'll go with your idea.
I love that. He was so like in the zone. He's like, right, here's a year, go.
Yeah. Obviously that won't give things away, but I'll carry on. Like when we brought Jack Jensen in, obviously that seemed like a random match, but it was to introduce Jack. He's a Duber weight. This is Jack, and this is Jensen. Obviously, Jensen has now joined Troy. That was to Jensen losing was like, oh, well, he's lost. He's made his debut. He's unhappy. Yeah. And then we had that little thing where he made his entrance and Troy walked past him.
Yeah.
And then for the end of the show. So we're trying to tell stories. We also do the whole sheet as well on people's seats, which does have story details on there. Obviously, it's very hard to fit a lot of story on that sheet because a lot of good things going on. But it's just a little.
But the amount of feedback, obviously, because I obviously do the merch for you guys, and the amount of feedback I get from the fans who are like, "This is incredible," because we've literally got the match card laid out. Even if we didn't come to the last show, we've got a snippet of what's going on, and like personally, not seen anything like that at a wrestling show I've been to before, and the fact that it's getting that much praise, is a great thing.
I need to find the company we found the idea of because I saw it on Twitter one day before because I don't want to say we came up with it.
Yeah.
Saw it on Twitter. This was well before the first show, and I said, "Boy, then we need to do this." I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
but I need to find which is somewhere down south, I think, and I can't remember who it was. I need to find the screenshots I can send to the boiler. I'll probably tell him what company it is. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take the credit for being like, oh, it's our idea, because when it wasn't. But I feel like we've done well with it. We sell like we've got a QR code on it as well to sell tickets next show, always with a discount.
Yeah.
Which last show sold a stupid amount of tickets on the night.
Yeah.
Which just blows my mind because people have bought tickets by the interval on it, which is crazy. And the raffle winner who won a family ticket already bought tickets, so like, oh, you
Yeah.
want free tickets for the show after?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need to
And
start telling them if if you're going to enter the raffle, don't buy your tickets until after the main when you were.
because then they'll forget them, won't they? Yeah. I'd rather than buy and they give them extra free tickets. We also this last show, which I really enjoyed, was I got an so I do one-to-one sessions in Sheffield with PP Super Pro Wrestling with Liam Slater, and he also gave us a bit of advice about Salford. And he said, "Why don't you get the announcer before each match to just give some context, give some story?" So we asked Che to do that on this show, and I think that worked really well as well. And I enjoyed it.
I did too, because obviously being sat at merch, I don't get to see everything. I mean, I do normally have a good vantage point from where I'm sat. However, at the last show, I had Gav and Big John stood right in front of me, and they've got doors than windows. So, having Che basically give me a rundown of what was going on, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay now.
Yeah, because I think it's like, especially new time people, they don't have a clue. And even like I'll watch WWE and forget what the hell's going on. And even though they do 10,000 video recaps, and like I'm terrible at watching TV shows and remembering what's going on. Like the episode before.
I feel your pain there. Like fibro brain ruins my life on a daily basis with that.
just making all that information that it's on a sheet. It's it's being told to you before. It's on our socials. Like we're trying to tell us all on our socials. It's hopefully evident in what the wrestlers are doing. So we try and shove the story down the throat really, to make it as easy as possible to get invested in it.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I don't think anything's fallen flat.
No.
So it's just us. I think we're both perfectionists a little. Yeah. So I think the moment something does fall flat, we'll be probably panicking a little, and we'll probably have to figure out what to do.
But then you have got a good team behind you who will say, "Shut up, you're fine.
Yeah,
it's all going okay."
Like last show, I panicked a lot before the show because the ring was not fully built till just before the team talk. And I was not having a good after the hour.
Yeah, as a peek behind the curtain on that day, I got there. The ring was like set up, but then wrong.
The board kept popping up. I don't understand rings, so
the amount of times Alex flapped was immeasurable. I'm just out there eating grapes, like it'll be fine. Don't worry, it's fine.
And then I was also opening the show as well. And I was like, oh god, I'm not even planned.
It was entertaining from my perspective. From yours, not so much, because I'm pretty sure you added some grey hairs.
Yeah, and on top of the already many grey hairs. But that was the first stress I've had, really. We've also had, I wouldn't say stress, a couple of fans that we've had to deal with. The last show we had none.
Yeah, the last show everybody was on their best behaviour. I did notice.
Yeah, and the person who caused the issues on the second show did come to the third show, but caused zero issues because we talked to them. We called out online. Yeah. Jack said something in the main event. So I feel like we dealt with that quite professionally.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. It did have to be dealt with because it was an issue, and it shouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way it was handled by yourselves and by Jack was, very professional, very well put over, and it worked because, as you say, it came to the next show, nothing.
Yeah, and I think for us to not have to ban him was also, we don't want to actively ban people, but if they're being idiots, then we have to. But
it happens. Like, obviously, it's a family-friendly show, and at the first, was it the first or the second show? It was the first show when we had somebody,
Yeah, being misogynistic on
a
the first
lot of
show.
things, yeah. But obviously, you do have a lot of very powerful women behind you on your team,
Yeah, so
and they instantly dealt with that issue.
yeah, we've got a good team. We've got everyone. I think everyone wants us to do well. I hope.
Yeah.
I've not heard anyone say they want us to fail yet, but there might be some people. But um, it's going better than we ever thought it would go. And yeah, it's just pressure now. We can go through the card actually, because obviously when this is announced, it'll be all out.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do it. We'll do it in match order. We don't really tell people the match order till the end.
We won't do match order. Just do it. We'll just go through
Oh,
the card and.
okay. We'll start with the 5-way.
Oh yes, of course. You were throwing out your little
Yeah. So
challenge.
the story behind the 5-way. So we've got Jack Barron, Phil Michael, obviously the superweights. They're at war because Phil cheated to beat him last show, and obviously Jack called him out.
Mm.
And then
That T-Rex impression was gold.
yeah, and you've got Dave Birch and Alex Boylan. Dave Birch attacked Alex Boylan's partner and at the end of the match last time, so Boylan chased him off. So there's a little bad blood there. And me as the vigilante, I just got beat off Troy. Obviously, gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But then I've also got me. So the story behind why we're all friends is we all started training together like nearly 11 years ago, and we're the only 5 left wrestling. So that's the context behind that. So we thought, as the vigilante, I was like, right, well, you all are arguing. Let's sort this out the only way we know how. So we're gonna have a nice little 5-way to on the show, which should be fun.
Yeah.
And it's the first time and probably the last time it'll ever happen. So, and then obviously context like the story, you've got all the other like they've got their stories, so that will obviously play into a lot of things as well.
Definitely. I mean, I can see like this being a match where you are all going to kick the shit out of each other. I'm just hoping that you all do hug it out at the end rather than,
well,
do further damage.
won't we?
We'll see.
And then we've got Harley Harris against Lily Winter. Obviously, that's the fallout from Harley got a pin on Natalie in the tag match. And we also will lead on to the next match. We wanted Lily to be busy because we've got Alfie Natalie Sykes, which was meant to happen on show 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, that match did online, people really wanted to see that match.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like, let's do it again. And let's keep Lily busy so she's not inserting herself in this one.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you allowed her to insert herself into it last
Sure,
week,
yeah,
kind of a bit
was
iffy.
management, wasn't it? But yeah, we're giving the people what they want. We've announced it again. It's been our best performing match graphic. So we track as well on everything, every match graphic and every link that you see online. It's got tracking on it that I've set up. So if you'll notice at the end of like the URL, it will have like a random thing. It'll be like Alf Nat or just a random whatever. So I will know if tickets have got sold off any of those links where they've come from, because I'm a nerd. And also,
I was just about to say, as much as I love you, but nerd.
But also that is the marketing as well, and we know who is our main attractions.
Yeah.
Where tickets come from on like which websites, which social medias, where we should focus our efforts.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a marketing thing really as well.
Yeah.
But that has been the only match graphic that has sold tickets.
Wow.
So that tells you all you need to know about.
Big up the ladies. Well done.
So there's the 2 women's matches on that show. Obviously, Alfie's still not a singles win either. Because obviously she gets getting screwed out by Lily and Natalie.
Yeah.
And then what else we got? We have got Vantabus appearing. Who knows what they're going to be doing? Can't really say. And then we've also got Ayrton Steen which actually announced tonight that he has something to say after obviously losing to Jack last show. And then
have we told Aiton that he has to stay away from blood? Like,
we have
good.
yes.
He's got a taste for it now. He needs to like
Yeah.
back it down a bit. Yeah.
We're a PG promotion, family
Yeah.
friendly. And then we have Jack Johnson against Jensen Vesper, the fallout of Jack getting super kicked by Jensen, and then Troy joining Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen now being Troy's little
Yeah, and now they're called the Monarchy together.
Yeah. Personally, I see Jensen Vesper more as the court jester rather than anything high up.
We've got Jack on our social, Jack called Troy out. Didn't mention Jensen. Really. I think he mentioned him in a little bit. And then Jensen answered Jack and said, "Look, if you're gonna, you've got 2 shots at Troy, really, and Jensen, isn't he? He's essentially you're gonna have to fight me." And then our main event, because all announced as main event, is Troy against Decker, which Decker has done a promo calling Troy out, and he's also acknowledged obviously that people want to see Jack Troy, but he's you've sent your little lapdog to deal with Jack, so obviously Decker beat 2 people on the last show.
He did. I can't wait for the big meaty men beating the living hell out of each other. That's going to be great.
Yeah, so Decker said, right, well, why don't you take me on? And Troy has accepted. That is the card for Friday the 4th of July.
The card is looking incredibly stacked, and the fact that half this on the day of recording hasn't been announced yet. Obviously, we're doing it because we know when the podcast is going to air, and we still only have 5 tickets left. From not even knowing the full card, that is a testament to you guys, because I don't know many other promotions that sell that many tickets without a match card.
So we've found, I don't know if this does, matches apart from Alpha and Natalie, matches and announcements don't sell the tickets. Wrestling in general sells tickets, so we do a lot of Facebook ads. If you live in the area, you might see a lot of the Facebook ads. Just
my Facebook newsfeed is full of Salford City wrestling, to be fair.
So our ads are not the match graphics and the posters. Our ads are videos of wrestling, pictures of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because people they see a poster, they don't really know what it is. Sometimes you might say wrestling on it, obviously, and have wrestlers on there. But from our experience, people, if you see a wrestling move in a picture or something cool looking like whatever in a video, you're more likely to want to click on it then rather than this fancy match graphic, which you don't. So we found it really successful. And also, obviously, I track everything from the ads. I know which ads sell the most and which variation. We try loads of different ones.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're getting a lot of return customers anyway, so we're having to do less ads, which is good.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of emails to people who've already bought tickets as well, saying, "Oh, thanks for coming. Here's a discount as well." And then we do we're nearly sold out. Do you want to help us sell out email? So we try and do as much marketing as possible, basically.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Are we getting some new Salford City wrestling shirts?
No, it's still the white ones at the moment. A fan has requested a black one, which we're going to get made for them.
See, at least you're listening to the fans.
Yeah. What was I say? I had another point, but I've lost it.
My bad. Sorry.
No, it was before that. I'd lost it whilst I was over explaining myself on the other stuff. Wrestling. Oh, the bigger picture. They've told us they don't know if we're going to show up. So on the next.
Oh, such a shame.
After, they got embarrassed. We gave them 7 minutes to speak.
You did?
I mean, the fans didn't let them speak.
Yeah, I was going to say you gave them that time. The fans, however.
Yeah. So they've told us they don't know if they're going to show up. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there isn't a match for them on the card, but we'll see.
Can we just like not ban them at the door? Like,
Oh yeah, we could do, yeah. But
I mean, they'd probably still find a way in, but
yeah, so
yeah.
we'll have to be on guard to see what they do.
Oh my goodness. So if by whatever stretch of imagination, if the tickets for the 4th of July have not sold out by the time this episode airs, get your tickets incredibly quickly because they will sell out before the event. And
Hope so.
I mean, I'm saying this knowing our luck. As soon as before this comes out, those 5 tickets will have sold. Like it always happens. I try and big something up, and then it's done before I can even get a chance to air what I've said. So I'm sure people do it on purpose just to annoy me.
Yeah,
So that's what I'll keep doing. I'll keep bigging up your shows, and then they'll buy the tickets just so they don't have to hear me again.
yeah, let's do that.
So if you are in the Salford area, or even if you're further afield and want a night of wrestling, it's a Friday night, which is a bonus because no getting up for school the following day. If obviously you're a child, which child-friendly show, bring your kids. It's in a pub, so there is a bar.
Cheap bar.
There, a cheap bar, yes. That's actually a point I was going to ask you. What made you pick the venue that you have? Because
We visited a lot of venues, and there's not a lot of venues in the Salford area that are suitable for wrestling either.
yeah, that's very true.
There's a lot of low ceilings. The amount of venues I was like, this isn't going to work.
Sweetheart,
Like,
the
the amount
ceiling there is low. Like you hit your head on it on the
oh
first.
yeah, true. But now we've got a configuration that works now.
You have, to be fair,
With
yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of low ceilings in Salford. So, but then I like it. I've grown to like the venue. To be honest,
I
like
do like the venue.
I think it creates a good atmosphere
Yeah,
because of how it's quite closed in as well.
it is very good. So if you are about the Pendlebury Social Club, I will put all the details like in the
Yeah,
description. I say I'll do it. Our editor Johnny will do it because
yeah.
I suck at technology. Unless you want to offer your services, Mr. Nerd Boy, you know.
I have enough to do.
But yeah, I will put everything down below, the link of ticket sales. But hopefully by the time you click on it, it'll say sold out, and you'll have to try again for the next show. We'll put a link to obviously Salford's Facebook page and things like that, so you can keep up to date with everything going on Salford. Just support local wrestling. Like even if you're not local to Salford, support local wrestling. It's fine. And Salford City Wrestling's great. So
But also, if you do want to go to WWE, go to WWE because I'm actually sick of people going, "Oh well, support indie wrestling. You shouldn't go to WWE." No, if you want to go to WWE, go that as well.
yeah,
Um,
if you can afford tickets, crack on.
because I do see a lot of discourse about, "Oh, look how expensive it is. You could buy tickets for my indie local promotion for the entire year, but it's I don't know. Yeah, people need to stop doing that
Yeah,
because support all wrestling.
yeah.
Um,
Because if you
because
didn't support the bigger wrestling, like it won't be around, and then your little indie
if
wrestling won't be
WWE
around.
went on Netflix right now, I don't think Self will be doing as well because we base things around we our ads ramp up around WWE events.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble weekend was when we sold out the last show,
Mm.
so people get more interested in wrestling when WWE is at its biggest.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, stuck over that, but it's just a point I wanted to make.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I really do because yes, I agree. Go and support indie wrestling because you guys all work so incredibly hard and you deserve to have your hard work pay off. But on the other side of it is, like you said, if we didn't have these big companies doing what they're doing, the little indie wrestling wouldn't be as
Exactly.
big. And it's like the big and the little need each other to grow, basically.
Yeah.
It's as simple as. So support your local indie wrestling wherever that may be. Don't shit out on the bigger guys because it's too expensive. Yeah, if you can't afford it, don't go. Don't put yourself into debt for it.
Yeah.
But don't slag it off for somebody could end. The Vigilante Bentley could end up there one day.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I got tickets for the Court Live house show because people are saying it was expensive when they first come out, but close to the time on the day, I got a £40 ticket.
There you
So
go.
I think that is worth it for a WWE show.
Yeah, definitely.
Reasonable.
I mean, years ago, we're going back, Jesus, a long time ago when I was in uni, I think. So we're going back quite a few years now, 2009 possibly. I won a pair of tickets in an auction. So it was I did pay over the odds for them because it was for a good cause, but even then the tickets weren't cheap. And and we've moved on for quite a while of
Yeah.
that, but and so looking at it, they're still probably about the same sort of price range. It's
Yeah.
just everything else costs a butt ton more now, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Exactly.
But anyway, let's not moan about how much wrestling costs, because otherwise that could end down a very big rabbit hole of
Yeah.
everything else. Is there anything else that you would like to promote? Anybody you would want to call out? Anything at all? The
I
floor
don't
is
think so. No, I think we've covered a lot in the past. God knows how long we've been going. Yeah, covered a lot. Salford's on the Friday, the 4th of July, as we know.
Mhm.
Rain of Fire. Our August show will be announced. It usually gets semi-announced on the same week because we have to make the Facebook event and stuff, so it kind of leaks out. But
Yeah.
we don't really care because if it sells ticket, it sells ticket. And then we do send pre-sale emails out to people who've got tickets for the show as well. So that will be announced the week of the show.
So yeah, go to a Salford show. You will not regret your decisions. It's a great night, and I, I am bigging you up, but I'm doing it because I feel so strongly about it. I really do, because it's great to have something, especially so local to me as well. Because for any other wrestling show that I go to, I do have to do a bit of travel. It's not much, but this one, it takes me like 20 minutes to get there, if that. And I'm just like, well, I'm here for about 3 hours now before doors open. Let's just
Yeah.
do anything. But yeah, no, you guys have an incredible product with an incredible roster, and I am very thankful to be just a very small part of the team. So thank you for allowing me to do that.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I now am going to sorry, numb, and I'm trying to scratch and it's not fun. Ow. Um I will, like I say, put everything down in the description below. So links to Salford's Facebook page, links to, the tickets, things like that. So go check them out. Go to any event where Bentley is wrestling, because, great little superhero over there.
Try.
You do. And I now do need to see the Joe Hendry head turn in action. I need to see that happening now. So if that doesn't happen at Salford, I'm going to be very annoyed at you.
We don't have a spotlight, it's probably not.
I will get one. I will get
Oh, yeah.
a flashlight and hold it above me. We'll turn all the lights off, it'll be fine. He's not going to let me go to the next show now. It's just
I'll be bad now.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. Honestly, it's a pleasure as always to speak to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again on the 4th of July.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.